Morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, viewers on the internet via our TV, integrated TV on Facebook. We want to say you are welcome. And listeners in Radio Land, we want to say you are welcome to this fresh edition of the program Integrated Watch. Integrated Watch is a 1 hour live radio program every Wednesdays and Thursdays on Truth FM 96.1 and Echoes Radio 91.5. The show runs from 11 to 12 noon and it is relayed on the foreign stations. FM in Morovia, Radio Bombing in Bombing County, in Tottenham, Bombing County. That is Radio Bombing 98.9 in Tottenham, Bombing County. Puman FM 106.3 in Tottenham, Bombing County. Radio 5 in Ganta, Nima County. Radio West Zone in Vicano, Grand Bassa County. Also on Magic FM, Magic 99.3 FM in Grand Bassa, Vicano. Radio Banga, Bon County, Radio Paraclete, 93.7 on today, which is a Wednesday. A repeat of this broadcast is on Saturday from 6 to 7. We are encouraging listeners to always monitor. Just in case you miss out today's live broadcast, you can just monitor the repeat on Saturday on Truth FM 96.1. Viewers on our entire TV via Facebook, we want to say welcome. Seek and still do not go. This program is very informative. It serves as a primary radio communication and information platform of the Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia CENTAL. The key advocacy tool here that provides essential information around the state of the fight against corruption and national integrity building efforts, as well as for culture of accountability, transparency, and evidence-based decision-making sectors and institutions of the law country. So under CENTAL's anti-corruption NEMA program, which is funded by the government and people of Sweden to the Swedish International Development Cooperation Agency, SIDA, this program serves as an advocacy and coordination and engagement platform to rally citizens and other stakeholders support for the fight against corruption and bad governance in Liberia. So as part of the NEMA program, Center has established the advocacy and legal center. Some people call it ALAC, some people call it ALAC. The last time I put it in my pronouncer and it said ALAC. So henceforth, I'm going to be calling it ALAC. So the ALAC is an independent platform to enable citizens to freely report and seek redress to corruption and integrity related issues within our community, counties, and large. So that place is a place where if you have issues of corruption, not issues of corruption, but integrity related issues. Of recent, we heard some taxi driver was so kind enough to give some accessory to one of his passengers that left their bag in the car, and he returned glove or accessory to that person. That is a true display of integrity. We spotlight these kind of things on the show, the Integrity Watch. So at ALAC, we have a team of professionals, including lawyers, who are willing who are willing and ready to learn and provide the necessary advice, either pair the complaint. At the end of the show, we will call the numbers that you can freely report issues of corruption and integrity related matters to that center. But better say you can still email ALAC at alac@cental.org.lr, or you can log on to the Facebook page and follow the events. The Facebook page name is CENTAL ALAC. So it's CENTL, CENTLAL. I encourage you, like I said, from the onset to the cases of integrity. If you know a person possess some qualities of integrity, or that person is the person can just not quote him and give in a particular thing that you want to talk about that person. And we want to encourage citizens to also call that the elect to also get information about laws of our country. Many people you don't understand the law. What is this law? The PFM law. What is it all about? What does it do? You cannot call them to get some information. Around the state of the fight against corruption in our country. Today's edition of this show is going to be very interesting because the host is a guest for today's show in person of Mr. Zokar Zota. He's an astute media personnel, has vast experience in the communication space, and I'm just super excited that he's like sitting here with me today. To talk about communication and media related issues, how media and communication is really fighting towards reducing and curtailing corruption in our country. We all know that the media plays a vital role in the dissemination of information in our country. So it's important that we spotlight them, and we're going to be spotlight some of the activities of media and communication, especially as it relates to CENTAL. Yeah, come go, Mr. Sam Zota. Sam Zokar Zota.
Thank
You go
you.
back, yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here today in this capacity as guests on this show. And with you as my host today, I'm so glad and excited to be on this platform. And arguably, one of the biggest platforms in Liberia in the business of broadcasting right now. So thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much. That was the voice of Mr. Sam Zokar Zota Jr. He's the media and communication person at the Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia Center. I know has been around doing wonderful things, especially in the education space, in governance, in health or mining. And what have you, they have been doing tremendous work all the time since 2004, and they are still fortunate here, aiming at reducing corruption in our country. Before we go to onto our guests this morning, we will be talking about little things that matters. Uh, Firstly, we want to say happy belated Ibrahim Day to our Muslim brothers and sisters, locally, internationally. We want to say happy belated Ibrahim Day to you. We pray that may Allah continue to hear and answer our prayers. And let me do a shout for the entire country of free, happy Independence Day to every patriotic Liberians, every patriotic Liberians out there who are serving our country, especially in the diaspora, serving our country out there, making positive impacts, and that's doing wonderful and amazing thing. Even the citizens who are here, those patriotic citizens who are here, making sure that we do the right thing, we reduce corruption to an appreciable level, we promote the culture of integrity among stakeholders, especially citizens too. So important that I highlight them. On the other things that matter, so we want to talk about, we want to caution citizens about COVID-19. We all know it is so in our country, even though we heard that the NGO is saying that the cases are reduced, yet we still have to wear masks, and we have to watch our hands, follow all of the health protocols, social distance, and do all of those things that will keep us from not getting COVID-19. Because if you get COVID-19, there's a high possibility that you might spread the virus to your family members. So if you want to protect yourself, protect our country, please let us follow all of the health protocols. Don't say that COVID-19, yeah, our government just want to do it because they want to own it. COVID-19, it is real. It is affecting everybody. So once it's affecting everybody, it means that we put ourselves together and see how we can. We did it to Ebola. We can do it for this. So we are cautious every Liberians to be very cautious about COVID-19. Uh, of recent, I witnessed there has been a lot of accidents on the highway, even in town by riders or truck drivers. Like I think it was like 4 days ago when at the AB Top Junction, a car or tanker, someone's had and drop on the outer. Thankfully, nobody was there, but at least no casualties. But we would really want to cautionise those tankers, those truck drivers to be very, very. You can't be bending that kind of a curve and you running with heavy speed. No, you already have that kind of a container. Almost, I think it was 40 feet container. You can have that 40 feet container and be bending the curve like you are doing racing. You are not doing racing. Please take your time and bend the curve. Smart drivers, speakers. You're not in a competition. Do things with care. Drive with care. 2 days ago, I saw another one via the internet, Facebook, in Bon County. Oh, I saw it live. The guys were worried live how the car dropped oh my God, it's so painful. And the other lady, she died on it. There was a guy when they started to lift up the container that fell, and everybody was like, yeah, somebody's on the car, somebody's on the car. And when they lift there, you can see, oh my God, it was such a sad moment. It's such a sad moment. We really want to talk to these drivers, so be very, very careful in driving. Please, let's be very careful. And the protests, we want to, those government entities, those private entities are owning your employees. Just today, we saw how the NTA, the National Transport Authority, they were protesting around the foreign affairs, saying that they were in demand of the salary arrears. It's bad. You keep having people working for you, especially national. Can you imagine? You keep having people working for you at the national level, and by treating them like that, it's not called for. That we have to see how we can put ourselves together, especially to at national level. Let's at least try to help our citizens, let us promote our citizens, and let us give them those requisites, those things that they need, that benefits, that just benefit. Let us give it to them. It is very important, please. So we want to take a break, and before we go, after our break, we're going to be hearing the voice of Mr. Zokar Zota, who's a leader and communication person at the Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia. So we take a break. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Welcome again, welcome again. The program that you are in tune to is the Integrity Watch. Is a 1 hour radio program of the Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia that is supported by the government and people of Sweden through the Swedish International Development Cooperation Agency, Sweden. So we want to take this time to say, Ms. Zota, welcome to this Zoom in. All right. Mr. Zota, welcome to this first edition of the program Integrity Watch. Welcome again.
All right, thank you. Like I said initially, I'm glad to be on this platform. One of Liberia's EGS radio programs. So I'm glad to be here and in my capacity now as a guest on the show. So glad that you, Mike, will be hosting me today. I'm so happy to be here and super excited. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, like I would say from the onset, we're gonna be going into variety things of as it relates to media and communication, right? So, when somebody hear about media and communication, what really comes to their mind?
All right, thank you. First, let me lay the basis for our coming here today. All right. The Center for Transparency and Accountability in Liberia, CENTAL is implementing a 3.5 year project uh, sponsored by the government of Spain through the Swedish International Development Cooperation Agency, or IDA. So the project is targeting 7 counties. So in the implementation of a project, visibility becomes very, very important and cardinal. So from the onset, when the project was about to kickstart, the team at CENTAL decided that we need different people to serve in different cities. So they put out the advertisement for people to apply, and we applied, we accepted. So we came with, I joined the team, and I'm so glad to be out of a team. It's very, very innovative and very, very. They try to empower to see what's happening right now. Right now in studio, what we try to shift the dynamics. So I've been the host of the program. So you've been, the one providing visibility beyond the studio, as we usually said. Today, it has shifted. You are interviewing, and the one who's behind the studio is our gender officer. So Akia Glay is the gender officer, and she's behind the one behind camera that ensure our visibility goes beyond. We do it. So at CENTAL, we try to build the human capacity and also try to diversify our different engagements. Coming to the point of coming today.
Yes,
so when you talk about community, like I said, in every project implementation, visibility is very cardinal. So in this project, we came with with a particular TOR given to us that we need to implement. So we have to make sure we do. However we do them, the public must know how we do all of these our engagements. So the media and communication team has been very, very proactive, making sure that whatever we do, wherever we do them, they come out to the public so that the public know what's happening. So we are making sure, ensuring that our visibility goes, wide and beyond whatever things happen. So that is what we've been doing, ensuring that we sell the institution, the brand of CENTAL. So we have been selling the brand of CENTAL over the time, and that's why we not only selling the brand, also empowering other institutions, whether civil society, in different capacity, in different sectors. So that is what we've been doing over time. And when you talk about communications, about ensuring whatever you do in the simplest one, in the simple form rather, whatever you do in the common council life. So we have been shedding light on activities of CENTAL and ensuring that people hear and know what CENTAL is engaged with over the years.
Yeah, thank you so much. When we talk about media and communication, everybody knows that you have to use whether it is a print media, electronic media, or whatever. Uh, uh, how is the media really using that particular arm to fight corruption? How is it? How are they really using the arm?
Okay, the question is general. So
Yeah, sure.
generally,
Generally,
the media in the fight against corruption, media is very, very important because all of these things that you hear and you see, they may not come to the public glare if there were not media institutions and journalists who were investigating or people were sending out this information to them for them to be able to highlight them, to amplify those pieces of information. So the media has been very, very critical and very cardinal in the fight against corruption. And media is always cardinal in the fight against corruption in any country. So for the success of our fight in Liberia and as an institution called CENTAL, what we have done is to place very to take the media as a very, very key and strategic partner. So we've emphasized that and we've built that relationship over the years. And we are glad that our relationship with the media has been very cordial and I think is going well. But on a general note, the media is very important to the fight against corruption, and nobody should overemphasize that. Nobody need to overemphasize that because it is very important. That's why we see it as very important to our fight. So that is why we engage them in that matter.
Yeah, you talked from the onset, Center is implementing this project, right? And you, as the media and communication person at that particular institution, let us go to a partnership or collaboration. Are you collaborating, with local, media institutions so
All right.
to amplify.
Yeah. So over the period, we have been able to have engagements of journalists from different media institutions. And like we said, we are implementing this project in 7 counties, Monserrado, Bong, Nimba, uh, Grand Bassa, River Bomi, Bapo. So these counties are the counties we are implementing this project in. So aside from the project targeted counties, we were able to engage, to send out call for proposal as part of our engagement with the media. So we want to make sure that we build the capacity of media, of individual journalists and media institutions. So let's begin with the individual journalists first.
Okay.
So the individual journalists, empowerment of individual journalists, we were able to recruit journalists, about 20 journalists. We recruited them and we established this network of anti-corruption reporters. So the network of journalists were recruited from across 10 counties, even though the project is in 7 counties.
Interesting.
So the additional counties, people applied from those counties and they were at the top of the vetting process. So we as an institution that deals with issues of transparency, we make sure that we cannot drop people who have good grades. So we maintain them. So that is those people have already we send out, we train them, and then we ask them to apply. So we have empowerment, we have a mini grant to be given to that have been given to these people. But in order to do that, to be able to monitor and make sure that you justify why we should give you this money, we send out proposal template. So people applied. In that process, the 20 members they applied. They applied for the grant.
Okay.
All of the proposals we received, we were able to vet them, streamline all of the proposals to justify value for money. So if you send a proposal, you have to justify why we should give you this money. So those proposals that were able to be more justifiable, we were able to have 6 of them. All of the 6, we were able to fund those people. Right now, we are expecting, I've been following up with them. We are expecting their reports to come in so that we can be able to. All of these things are intended to empower the journalists because I am a media practitioner. I've practiced in the field of journalism for several years in Liberia. I know what we go through as a journalist to cover a story. Sometimes, personally, I walked after story. I walked from place to place to be able to gather stories because the institutions that I worked for, they could not facilitate my transportation. If I don't have it and I want to, to report a story, I don't have to sit down because I don't have transportation, so I will not go. I will have to walk. I did that. So coming to this, in this capacity, we decided that we need to empower journalists so that they can be able to look after issues about corruption, to investigate and go deeper into investigating stories about corruption. So that is the reason why we give in this environment. So the institutions, we have uh, we have jingles. We have jingles that are being aired. So our jingles, and then we have this program, the radio program. The radio program is currently being aired on three radio stations. On two stations, Echoes Radio and Truth FM. So on Truth FM, the program is being aired and relayed in 6 counties.
Okay.
Then on our Echoes Radio, with Truth FM, we got a contract with Truth FM. So that's an empowerment. We are empowering media institutions. So we enter contract with Truth FM. So we're very glad of our partnership. Our partnership has been very core over the time. With Echoes Radio, we are not paying that with Echoes Radio. However, we have a contract with Prime FM and other stations that are relaying. So we are empowering these institutions. We enter contract with them and we are empowering them. So in the 6 counties where these stations are relaying, we're giving them, we have an agreement, and then we're giving them support. We're paying for this relay and broadcast we are doing. Yeah. Apart from that, we have jingles. We have jingles on 16. I mean the number 16 radio stations. Imagine having jingle aired on 16 stations in 7 counties. That's happening right now as we speak. So these are all forms of empowerment, empowering the individual journalists and empowering the media institutions, sure, so that they can be, be vibrant, to be able to bar forward, to be able to be staffers, and to do other operational. I mean, those are things that we are doing, and we are hoping to even go beyond. So our engagements with the media have been very, very cordial, and yes, those are things that we are doing. 16 institutions in 7 counties, and they are really, and the feedback we're gathering on our monitoring arm of this jingles, radio program, I think they are very impressive. We are hoping to continue this partnership that we've built over the time, and to see how we strengthen them and first and make it more stronger. And those are things that we are doing so far as the media, and as part of our engagement with the media and empowering media institutions.
Using the media, the media, it makes the messages to resonate well, right? You talk about empowering individual practitioners, right? So one of what you talk about is the investigative reporting. So do you care to talk about when you say investigative reporting, what really comes to mind?
Okay, so and with not to brag about it, Anthony Stevens took that title away. Was the investigative reporter on Anthony Stevens. Now is the investigative reporter and the team that. So I've been involved into different investigations, and I know what it takes to investigate a story. To investigate a story is a lot, and I know what I went through.
Time.
It takes time. It takes whatever you have to put in. You have to put it into investigations. Sometimes even the people you expect to give you information, they will not want to give it to you. So you have to go further and dig further beyond the sources that will provide information to you. So when this project was developed, it was captured that the individual journalists, we were going to establish a network of journalists. So we came and then we put in how the process was going to be, and we did other recruitment. So we want to make sure that journalists we provide meaning grant to them, so that it can facilitate their travels. If you want to go after a story, maybe you live in town, you have a story that you have to investigate in Painesville, you have to indicate that I will travel to Painesville to investigate the story. I will have to do that. So, like I said, money was very, very key in making sure that we evaluated and that's how we evaluated the proposals that were sent. So we have given these the resources to them, and that is a form of empowerment because it has helped them to be able to underwrite other costs associated with their work. And just to emphasize on this, we didn't give this the funding to the journalists so that they can report for us. No, they are reporting for their institutions. What we are doing is to support them in reporting for their institutions. So the only thing is, because we know that investigation, especially corona investigative reporting, is very, very uh, tedious. It takes everything that you ever think about. So we want them to have the at least a report that will help them to be able to meet in because their independence is very important. If you have money to facilitate your transportation, you have money to cover your calling costs, you have money to buy batteries, the camera, the battery recorder, all of these. Will not depend on the going to interview to give money for you to buy these things. No.
Yeah, I agree.
You go in there as an independent person, going in cash in your pocket to the person. You're not asking the question to please them. So you're asking the hard questions. So that is the independence that we brought to this particular effort. So the journalists that we've they've been given that support to be able to do it. So I mean, that is what we've done, and these things that we are doing, and we're going to even make it bigger. We are planning to make it bigger, but it takes collaborative effort, and that is the effort that we are seeing so far, and we know that it's going to be good and better.
Yeah, thanks for that. So, it is of a perception that some of the media practitioners are should I use the word cookie, because sometimes when they go for stories, they tend to sabotage themselves in a way that they instead of them bringing the real to bring out the false into the play. So, in your own view, how do you see that as a
No, I mean, work of journalists is very big. It's often said when a lawyer makes mistake, it takes the client to jail. When a doctor makes a mistake, it takes the patient to their early grave. But when a judge makes a mistake, it comes to the public good. And
Okay. Yeah. All right, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Sorry, we had a technical problem, and we are back again on the important issues as it relates to media and communication. So, yeah, if you are listening to us via radio and our entire TV, you want to stay, please follow the link, Facebook, entire TV. And if you are monitoring us on today on 296.1 FM, we want to solicit views about media and communication. How is it important? What is the relevance of media and communication in fighting corruption, in reducing corruption? So you can place a call to 0886 That's for the Lone SARS subscribers. 0886 And for the orange subscribers, you can call 0770 175 162. I repeat, 0770 175 162. Please a call. As you know that media is very important country, and especially communication. Media and communication, the two linked together. These two are very